Both Derek and Jillian would like to thank all of you for your love and support as they prepared for this wedding and for joining them on this joyous day. They hope you enjoy this day and what it represents. My name is Zach Dahm and I'll be officiating this wedding. Derek and I have known each other for 16 years. I've been best friends for most of that period, surprisingly. We went to high school dances together, we were roommates in college, and I couldn't be more proud of him today. Nor could I be more impressed by Jillian, who he somehow convinced to marry him. For those of you who don't know Jillian very well, she was born in Spearfish, South Dakota. As a child, she moved frequently. As a kid, she lived in 12 different cities, attended 11 different schools, and she blames her easygoing and friendly nature because she had to move around so much. She recently finished a PhD in biochemistry from the University of Nevada, Reno, and has recently started her postdoc program at the University of Nebraska. Derek grew up in Irvine, California. He is the youngest of 4 children. After majoring in geography at the University of California, Santa Barbara, he moved to Reno, Nevada, where he accepted a position working for AT&T. More importantly, that's where he met Jillian, the love of his life. Jill and Derek met 4.5 years ago at a mutual friend's housewarming party. Derek was immediately struck by Jill's gorgeous smile, her wit, and how beautiful she looked. He asked all of his friends about her. Is she single? What's her story, etc. However, Jill, who was also interested in him, didn't think they'd be each other's type. Derek then called to ask her out. Unfortunately, Jill didn't pick up the phone, so Derek ended up asking out her voicemail instead. Much to the surprise of those who are hearing this story, she called him back and gave him a shot. While driving to pick up Jill for their first date, Derek then got lost and took the wrong freeway. He finally arrived an hour late to the first date, but it was still a great success. The relationship survived, and as the rest of you now know, the rest is history.
Hear, hear.
Thank you. Thank you. Within 1 year from that date, both had moved in together, and here we are today. Jill says she knew Derek was the love of her life and the greatest catch in the world, but she brought him home to meet her family during their first Thanksgiving together. And was able to win everybody with his charming personality and his dashing smile. I'm not gonna lie to you, I think Derek wrote that one. I first heard of Jill a few years ago over the phone. I was living abroad at the time, and Derek would call me up, being the good friend that he is, every week to call and catch up with me. During this particular phone conversation, he raved about some new girl. He wouldn't stop talking about you, Jill. And considering I know Derek as a guy who doesn't get excited too easily, I knew this was something special. It's hard to describe to someone how you feel about them. It's especially hard when you're put on the spot and you're in front of your closest family and friends. That's why I decided, in order to have Derek express what he felt about Jillian, being one of his best friends, I would play a little trick on him. A week ago, I called Derek and told him that I was having a personal crisis. I told him all my friends were getting married and I was feeling the pressure. Those who weren't married were engaged. And I told Derek that I realized that I need to start thinking about marriage. But how do I know if the woman that I'm marrying is the one? And I knew this would be a great way to secretly find out what Derek thought of love, romance, and Jill. This is what Derek said. He said, "You just know. It's not simply a clinical thing. It's because he knows that Jillian is incredibly gorgeous. He knows that he's lucky and he feels blessed whenever he sees her in the morning. He knows that 40 years from now, when they have a conversation, he will still be able to learn something. And therefore, 40 years from now, he'll still be happy. But he also said to me this. He said it's more than that. He said, when I'm away from Jillian, I just can't wait to talk to her. He told me that he and Jill had an argument the other day about wedding plans. And he said, but Derek said, despite that, he walked away saying, I am still so excited to be marrying this woman. It's something that I can't describe in words. That, Jillian, is what Derek says about you when you're not around. And that describes how deeply in love with you he is. Now, Derek and Jillian have written their own vows that they would like to share with one another.